Hello friends, welcome to .NETAwesome.com. In the part 1 of this series, Token Based Authentication in ASP.NET Web API, I have shown you how to secure ASP.NET Web API using Token Based Authentication, where we have done all the code on server-side Web API application and tested our application with POSTMAN Chrome extension. Now in this article part 2, I am going to show you how to implement token-based secure web API service in AngularJS application. We know that how token-based authentication actually works. When we access secured resources from token-based secured server using our client application, we have to pass signed token in authentication header. Then this token will be validated by the server, and if the token is valid, then we will get valid response from server. Otherwise we will get 401 unauthorized or 403 forbidden response. So what we will do in our client application? First of all, we will build a simple single page application using AngularJS. In this client application, we will add following pages, or you can say routes. 1. Home. In this page, we will fetch data from our Web API service action, which is allowed for anonymous user. Second, authenticated. Here we will fetch data from Web API service action, which is allowed for authenticated users. And then third one, authorized. Here we will fetch data from Web API service action, which is allowed for admin role authenticated users only. For login, when our token is missing or not valid, we will get 401 unauthorized or 403 forbidden response from server. Then we will redirect the user to login page, where we will get token from server after providing valid credential. 5. Unauthorized. When our token is valid but the request is not authorized to perform the requested action, then we will get 403 forbidden response from server. Then we will redirect the user to unauthorized page. Okay, let's start implementing our AngularJS client application to implement token-based secured web API service. In the part 1, we have already created a project where we have configured our web API. Now we will start with adding another project in the same solution for our client application. So first of all, open your application, which we have done in part 1. You can see here in the Solution Explorer, this is our web API application which we have created in the part 1. Now I will add another project here for create client application. For adding client application in the same solution, go to your Solution Explorer, right click on your solution name, then go to add and click on new project. You can see one new pop-up is showing here. I will select ASP.NET Web Application. Under Web, provide your application name, Angular app, and then click on OK button. From here I will select empty. This is for select template, and don't need anything else from here. Just click on OK button. You can see here our client application is added. Now we will add a JavaScript file here in this project, where we will write AngularJS code. Before adding the JavaScript file into the project, I will add a folder. So right click on your project name, go to add, then new folder. I'll rename it scripts. Now inside this folder I will add a JavaScript file. So right click on your scripts folder, go to add, then click on new item. From here I will select JavaScript file, rename your JavaScript file my app.js in my case, and then click on add button. Our JavaScript file is added. For better understanding, I will add all the required AngularJS component like module, controller, factory, HTTP interceptor, etc. in this single file. Later we will see how to do modular AngularJS app design. As we know, an ideal AngularJS app structure should be modularized into every specific function. Okay, let's start with adding a Angular module first. So var my app equals dot module my app, sorry, app. Here we will inject ng root because we need this one. Okay, this is done. Now what we will do here, we will config routing, then we will do, we need to declare a global variable for store service base path. Then we will add controllers, then we will add services, and finally HTTP interceptor. First of all, we'll configure routing. So my app dot fig root provider dot pen home.html controller controller. I'll copy this one for make it quickly, and then I will add authenticated. It should be also authenticated. Authenticate, then again I will copy should be authorized. Authorize controller, then one for login, login controller, and the final one is for unauthorized. So this is done, and one more thing I will add. When the root is empty, then I will redirect to home. So our root configuration is done. If you want to know more about routing, so you can go to this below link. You can see in this video for get the more information about AngularJS routing. As you can see here, I have added templates, home.html, authenticate.html. So we need to add those HTML file in our application as well. So here I will add one folder called template. Now we will add the following HTML files here in this template file, which we have defined in the root configuration. So first of all, home.html. So I will add, right click on your template, go to add, and then select HTML page. Here I will write home, then click on OK button. We don't need this HTML. Home page, then data. So here in this p tag I will show data fetched from our service. In the same way I will add authenticate.html. So right click on your templates folder, add, click on HTML page, here rename the item authenticate, click on OK button. Then we will add authorize.html. Right click on your template, add HTML page, item name provide authorize, click on OK button. It's done. Authorize data, and then I will add login page. Go to your solution explorer, right click on templates, add HTML page, login, click on OK button. login page. Here I will add a login form. So form ng submit. Dot username. I will add another input field for password. Type should be password. Then I will add one submit button. This form is done. I have made this form as simple as possible for better understanding. If you want to get details about how to create login page, so you can visit this URL. You can see in the video as well. And this is for how to create JS application. Okay, this login form is done. Now we need to add authorized.html page. So go to your Solution Explorer, right click on your templates folder, add, click on HTML page, enter authorized name, your item name, click on OK button. So this is done. On authorized page, all the templates we have added. Now what we have to do, we have to add following controllers as well. So before adding controllers, one global variable I will create here. For adding global variable, add this line, my app dot constant. Here I will add the URL of our service. Where we'll get this service URL. I will get it should be your hosted URL for live application, and for now, as this is local application, so I will get it from here, the properties wave. From here, this one is our service base URL. So here I will paste this one. Now I will add the following controllers we have defined in the our root provider. So first of all, I will create home controller. So for creating a controller, what we will do, my app dot controller. We need to provide controller name here, so it should be home controller. Scope function in this controller we will fetch data from services. So in the same way we will add another controller as well, so I will do copy paste for make it quicker. This one home, and then it should be authenticate, then authorize, authenticate, authorize, then login, and home done, authenticate, authorize, login, and then I think it should be unauthorized, this one. So the controllers is done. We need to write code for fetch data from service. So before writing code fetch data from services, we need to create our services here. For adding services, my app dot factory data service HTTP, and I need to this service based path here. So this is our service for fetch data from our web API service. In this service we will add three methods: get, anonymous, return, http dot get, then service base path plus API as it should be API data for all. This is our anonymous method, so it should be this one. Data, I'll copy this one for quick implementation. Get anonymous, authenticate, get authenticate data, and the URL should be authenticate this one. Again I will copy this one and add another authorize data. Get authorized data, and the URL should be this one, the authorize. So this service is ready. Now we will fetch this one in our home controller. So first of all we need to inject this data service in our controller. Scope.data is equal to blank first of all, then we will fetch dot get anonymous data, it should be scope.data equals to this data which we get from web API service. So this controller is done. In the same way we will fetch data from services for authenticate controller and also authorize controller. So here we'll add, in the same way we will write code here in the authenticate controller and authorize controller for fetch data from services. So first of all we need to inject data service here as well, and then scope.data data service dot get authenticate data, scope.data equals to data, and we'll do same here in the authorized controller as well. So get authorized data, we have done our home controller, authenticate controller and authorized controller. Now we'll write code for login controller. Before this we will create two more Angular services, one for fetch token from web API service and another one for store that token into browser for use this token whenever we need it. Okay, so first I will create one more factory which is a AngularJS service. Yes. Here in this service we will store our current user in a session storage and we will fetch whenever we required. So var factory current user, set current user and get current user. Set current user add dot current user equals to user, and then we will store this user in a session storage. User is equal to user, and in the get current user, user is equal to the dot from JSON storage dot user dot current user. This is done. Now I will add one another account service for fetch token information from web API service. So in the same way we will add one another factory. This should be account service, and we will need HTTP queue and our service base path. HTTP queue and service base path. So var fac return fac so this is our login. And one more thing, we need to add grunt type. Let's go type. It should be password. Now we need to write one method here. Object to params equal to params d4 is equal to q d4. Method should be post URL plus token data should be two params and then function response default dot resolve step data, otherwise for dot reject done for dot promise. This is done our login method. Then we will add one more is for logout. So what should be done here? Sorry, I forgot one more thing I need to add here is user service. Okay, I need to inject this one first here. So user service, because we fetch data and we got here a valid token from server, so we need to set user current user. Data. So if the login is valid, then after login we need to set this current user, and in the logout method what we will do, user service dot current user should be null, and also we will update user service dot set current user. This one obviously null. Okay, so our login and logout both method is done. So our account service is done. This account service we need to use here in our login controller. That's the reason I have first completed these two services, user service and account service. Now we will start coding into our login controller. So we need to inject account service here, and also I will inject location because after login I will redirect to home page. Location, scope dot count, then I need to write a login method, and here I will use account service dot login. I'll pass scope dot account, and then if our credential is valid, then we will redirect to our home page. So location dot path to home. Otherwise we need to show a proper message to the user for what we will do here. One more variable, scope dot message. If there is any wrong message, scope dot message should be error dot this is done. Finally here I will add scope dot data. It should be static message, sorry, not to access this page. Okay, so all the controllers done. We have already also done all the services. Now just one step away of completing this client application is HTTP Interceptor. In the HTTP Interceptor we can capture all the HTTP requests and responses, and we can manipulate it as per our requirement. Here in the HTTP Interceptor I will add token in HTTP request header if we will already have tokens stored in our session storage before sending the request to the server, and we will redirect the user to the login or unauthorized page if we get 401 or 403 response from server. Okay, so we need to add this one here. Before let's see how we can add this one. So here I will do my app dot config. I need HTTP provider, function. Here we need to inject user service, queue, and location. here we will intercept request request. What we will do here, we will add token into request header if we already have. For current user service dot get current user, and if the current user is not null, then what we'll do, we'll add config dot headers, we'll add authorization header with barrier plus current user dot access underscore token. Okay. So our request interceptor is done. Then what we will do for the response error, rejection if status equals to 401, then we will redirect user to login page. Injection if jar should be, then location dot path should be unauthorized page. I will direct to here. I think we should write this line here, because for other error also we need to reject the rejection. So this is done. Response request HTTP interceptor. Now we need to push this interceptor. So what we will do, HTTP provider dot interceptor dot push interceptor. So this is done. So I think we have done all the steps. Yes, now it's our myapp.js is completed. I'll close all this document. Now I will add one HTML page here. Index. So right click on project name. Again I'm showing you, right click on your project name, add HTML page. Here I will write index.html and then click on OK button. So our index is ready. Now we will do a little design for looks it perfect. Here first of all we'll add viewport for responsive design, which is app. Now I will add CSS, bootstrap CSS. This is bootstrap CSS link. Type equals to CSS. Styles it. This is done. Now in the body I will bootstrap our Angular app, so it should be ng app my app, right? Then I will add navigation bar, nav bar, stop. Then another tab, class, container, in the header I will copy paste this one button for responsive menus. Your application name, this is done. I will add menu here. Alright, side A, which should be show home. So this should be I will copy paste from here, home, authenticated, and then authorized. Our navbar is completed, so one done. Then I will add body, so class container, here I will add data ng view, and then one issue then footer. So this is ready. Now we need to add some JS file here. First of all, I will add jQuery, then I will add bootstrap, after that Angular, and then Angular root, and finally we will add our created JS file, this one. So this file is also ready. Before run, we have to make both project is running. So run both project at once. We need to change a little configuration here. So go to your solution explorer, right click on your solution name, and then click on properties. From here, startup project, we have to click multiple startup project. Then we need to change this action start and web API token authentication action start. So this both project will run when we'll compile this project. I think this should be above. Yes, this is okay. Now apply, okay. So start. You can see here our both application is running one by one. You can see here in the home page we get server time, and if we open the console and then we click here, you can see we get 401 unauthorized. So it automatically open the login. This is for HTTP interceptor we have implemented. And now if we try to log in as admin and submit login, you can see we have successfully logged in and we redirect to home page. Now if we click on the authenticated, this pages comes in. Now we will not it's not redirect me to login page, means authentication is successfully done, and I also got my name, hello Sora model. So its authentication is done. As I have logged in as admin user, so I can also get access to this menu. Yes, its role is admin, so it is successfully done. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Thank you.